A gang of dacoits who spelled terror in Andhra Pradesh and Karnataka have finally been nabbed by the cops. Who was this gang? What were their activities like? How were they nabbed? Let's find out in this News9 crime special.
The story we're about to show you is nothing less than a film script. This incident took place sometime last month at Chinnappa Reddy village in Gauribidanur in Chikbalapur. A huge crowd gathered outside a farmhouse in this village. It was a shocking incident in this farmhouse that attracted one and all to it. It was a Friday night. Padmavati, the lady of the house, had performed puja and decided to go to bed. She didn't want any mishap to take place, so she secured the house by locking the main door made of metal. The couple had 2 children and both of them had gone to Bengaluru for some work. Padmavati was home alone, and when she heard the main door being broken open, she panicked on hearing the noise and immediately called her relatives who resided nearby. For Padmavati's ill luck, by the time she could call them and tell them that she was in trouble already. The miscreants who had barged into the house had entered the room and snatched away Padmavati's mobile phone even before she could seek help from her relatives. There were 4 miscreants in all who entered the house on that particular night. While 2 of them wore monkey caps, 2 others were brave enough to show their faces to Padmavati. All of them had lethal weapons in their hands and spoke Kannada and Telugu. They used the weapons to threaten Padmavati and tied her up with the rope they brought along with them. As soon as they took charge of the situation, there was only one question that they asked the lady of the house. Where is the money? Padmavati told them that there was no money in the house. They attacked her and snatched all the jewelry she wore. Right after that, they broke the cupboard open and took all the jewelry and 1 lakh rupees in cash that was in it. The gang then moved to another room of the house and stole all the valuables from there as well. That was one smart gang of dacoits. They took a bucket of water and poured it over everything they touched. Then they untied Padmavati, locked the room and fled from the house with all the valuables. Somehow Padmavati managed to get out of the house at about 6 AM and informed everyone about what had taken place at her house the previous night. Now, as soon as the news fell into the ears of the Zilla Panchayat President Keshav Reddy, he called the Gauribidanur police over to the house. Circle Inspector Nagaraj received the call, and in no time he gathered his team and rushed to Padmavati's house. The miscreants fled from Padmavati's house on 2 bikes. Nagaraj gathered all the vital clues that were available and registered a case of dacoity. Nagaraj informed his senior officers SP Divya Gopinath and DYSP Chinnaswamy about the case and gave them all the details. They considered the case to be an important one because it was a lone woman who was targeted. They rushed to the spot themselves to investigate the case further. The forensic and fingerprint experts were also called to Padmavati's house. Inspector Nagaraj and Sub-Inspector Shiv Kumar formed a special team to exclusively work on this case alone. They interrogated Padmavati to gather the exact sequence of events. With all the details that the cops gathered until now, one thing was for sure, that the gang was a professional one and that they hadn't left many clues. They used water to wash off all the fingerprints that they might have left on the doors and the cupboards. The cops were looking for gangs which had committed similar crimes across the region. They gathered photographs of all the dacoits that were on their list and showed them to Padmavati. They were hoping that she could identify at least one of the 4 dacoits who broke into her house that night. The cops were fortunate. Of the 4 miscreants, 2 of them were unmasked and one of them was identified by Padmavati. Well, this is Madhu, the man who Padmavati identified. When the cops gathered details about Madhu, they were quite certain that he was the one. Madhu and his gang were active in Karnataka and Andhra Pradesh, and their style was very similar to the gang that committed the act at Padmavati's house. That was a clue good enough for the cops. They started searching for Madhu and the gang. The cops had Madhu's fingerprints in their database, which matched the fingerprints that they found on top of the cupboard. Now they were certain about Madhu and the gang being the accused. But Madhu was not the gang's leader. It was Durga Prasad. This was learned through the previous records. Durga Prasad was in jail for 3 months before he broke into Padmavati's house. He was arrested with regard to a case of dacoity that took place in Andhra Pradesh. Durga and Madhu hailed from Tyagraj colony in Hindupur, and the cops went there in search of them. The cops realized that it was a wild goose chase when they went there. The local residents were of no help to the cops because Durga was a hero to them. What's more, his daughter is a local cooperator, so it was even more hard for the cops. Durga's mobile number was retrieved and traced by the cops. They learnt that he was at Hindupur itself, but unfortunately, they could not find him. It was a tedious task for the cops to trace this gang. They were mostly underground and came out in the open only when they had a task at hand. The cops had to have a master plan to nab this gang because they were professionals and were not going to be traced easily. They could not be arrested one by one. They had to be nabbed when they were at work. They had to be nabbed together. A person named Balaram who resided at Muddugana Kunte village had gone to Bengaluru with his family. The cops knew that Durga's informers would have told them about the vacant house. They caught hold of one of his informers and told him to make sure that Durga broke into Balaram's house. It was a planned event. It was a trap to nab Durga and his gang. As ordered by the cops, the informer went to Durga and told him about the vacant house and that there were a lot of valuables there. He told them to attack on a particular day decided by the cops. The cops were well prepared on the fateful day. They were hiding around the house, and as soon as the gang broke into it at midnight, they surrounded the house and told Durga to surrender or be killed. In retaliation, Durga opened fire at the cops.
ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಫೈರ್ ಆಯಿತು ಏನಾಯಿತು ಅಂತ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಲಿಲ್ಲ ಆ ಟೈಮಲ್ಲಿ. ನಾವು ಒಂದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಅನ್ಕಾನ್ಷಿಯಸ್ ಆಗೋದು, ಬ್ಲಡ್ ಹೋಗ್ತಿದ್ದಂಗೆ ತಗೊಂಬಂದು ಹಾಸ್ಪಿಟಲ್ ಸೇರಿಸೋದು ಅಷ್ಟೇ ನನಗೆ ಜ್ಞಾಪಕ ಇರೋದಲ್ಲಿ. ನಾವು ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ಹಿಡಿಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೋದ್ವಿ, ಎಲ್ಲ 5 ಟೀಮ್ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡು ಬಂದರು. ಒಬ್ಬನು ಸಿಕ್ಕದ, ಇನ್ನೊಬ್ಬನು ಒಳಗಡೆ ಇದ್ದ. ಅವನು ಹಿಡ್ಕೊಳಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋದಾಗ 5-6 ಜನ ಒಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಹಿಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ವಿ. ಏನಾಯಿತೋ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಆ ಟೈಮಲ್ಲಿ ನನಗೊಂದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಅನ್ಕಾನ್ಷಿಯಸ್ ಆಗೋಯ್ತು, ಬ್ಲಡ್ ಹೋಗ್ತದೆ. ಕರ್ಕೊಬಂದು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಅಡ್ಮಿಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಆಪರೇಷನ್.
The cops were not going to be mum. They fired rounds at Durga and his gang too. Constable Lingappa was injured in the process. The cops then barged into the house and managed to nab 2 of the gang members, Madhu and Ramanaji. Unfortunately, Durga managed to escape.
11/7 2014ರಂದು ಗೌರಿಬಿದನೂರು ಗ್ರಾಮಾಂತರ ಪೊಲೀಸ್ ಠಾಣೆಯ ಸರಹದ್ದಿಗೆ ಸೇರಿದ ಚಿನಪುರಹಳ್ಳಿ ಗ್ರಾಮದಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂಟಿ ಮನೆಗೆ ನುಗ್ಗಿ ಮಹಿಳೆಗೆ ಕೈ ಮತ್ತು ಕಾಲುಗಳು ಕಟ್ಟಾಕಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂಗಾರದ ಒಡವೆಗಳು ಮತ್ತು ಬೆಳ್ಳಿ ಒಡವೆಗಳು ಮತ್ತು ನಗದನ್ನು ದೋಚಿಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ. ದೋಚಿಕೊಂಡು ಆ ಮಹಿಳೆಗೆ ಕೈ ಕಾಲು ಕಟ್ಟಿ ರೂಮ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಕ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ. ನಂತರ ಈ ಕಾರ್ಯವನ್ನು ಡಕಾಯಿತರ ಪತ್ತೆ ಮಾಡಲು ಮಾನ್ಯ SP ಅವರ ಮತ್ತು DSP ಅವರ ಮಾರ್ಗದರ್ಶನದಲ್ಲಿ ನನ್ನ ಒಂದು ನೇತೃತ್ವದಲ್ಲಿ 2 ತಂಡಗಳನ್ನು ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡು ನನ್ನ ವೃತ್ತದ 4 ಜನ ಸಬ್ ಇನ್ಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಅವರಾದ 2 ತಂಡಗಳನ್ನು ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡು ಆರೋಪಿಗಳನ್ನು ಪತ್ತೆ ಮಾಡಲು ದಿನಾಂಕ 16/7/2014ರಂದು ಇದೇ ದುರ್ಗಾಪ್ರಸಾದ್, ಮಧು, ರಾಮಾಂಜಿ ಅವರು ಮುದುಗಾನ್ಕುಂಟೆ ಗ್ರಾಮದ ಒಂದು ತೋಟದ ಮನೆಯ ಬಳಿ ಕಳ್ಳತನ ಮಾಡಲು ಮನೆಯ ಬಳಿ ಬಂದು ಬೀಗ ಹೊಡೆದು ಮನೆಯ ಒಳಗೆ ಪ್ರವೇಶ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಅವರನ್ನು ಆ ಒಂದು ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ಹಿಡಿದಾಗ ರಾಮಾಂಜಿ ಮತ್ತು ಮಧು ಸಿಕ್ಕಿಬಿದ್ದಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ಮತ್ತು ಇವರ ತಂಡದ ನಾಯಕ ದುರ್ಗಾಪ್ರಸಾದ್ ಪರಾರಿಯಾಗಿರ್ತಾನೆ.
The arrested duo admitted to have broken into Padmavati's house. The next task in hand for the cops was to nab Durga. Madhu and Ramanji gave details about Durga's whereabouts and the cops headed out to take him into their custody.
ರಾಮಾಂಜಿ ಮತ್ತು ಮಧು ಕಡೆಯಿಂದ ಬೆಳ್ಳಿ ಒಡವೆಗಳು ಮತ್ತು ಒಂದು ದ್ವಿಚಕ್ರ ವಾಹನವನ್ನು ವಶಪಡಿಸಿಕೊಂಡಿರುತ್ತೇವೆ. ನಂತರ ಈತನ ಪತ್ತೆಯ ಬಗ್ಗೆ, ದುರ್ಗಾಪ್ರಸಾದ್ ಪತ್ತೆಯ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನನ್ನ ನೇತೃತ್ವದಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ತಂಡವನ್ನು ರಚನೆ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡು ಆಂಧ್ರದ ಪೆನುಗೊಂಡ, ರಾಯಚೋಟಿ, ಗುಂಟೂರು ಮತ್ತಿತರ ಕಡೆಯೆಲ್ಲ ನಾವು ಹುಡುಕಾಡಿ ಮಾಹಿತಿ ಮೇರೆಗೆ ದಿನಾಂಕ 4/8/2014ರಂದು ಮಧ್ಯಾಹ್ನ ಚಾಕಾರಲ್ಪಲ್ಲಿ ರೈಲ್ವೆ ಸ್ಟೇಷನ್ ಬಳಿ ಬಾತ್ಮೀದಾರರಿಂದ ಮಾಹಿತಿ ಪಡೆದು ನಾನು ಮತ್ತು ಅಪರಾಧ ವಿಭಾಗದ ಸಬ್ ಇನ್ಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಮತ್ತು ಸಿಬ್ಬಂದಿಯವರು ಆತನನ್ನು ದಸ್ತಗಿರಿ ಮಾಡಿ ವಿಚಾರಣೆ ಮಾಡಿ ಆತನ ಕಡೆಯಿಂದ ಬಂಗಾರದ ಒಡವೆಗಳು, ಬೆಳ್ಳಿ ಸಾಮಾನುಗಳು ಮತ್ತು ಒಂದು ದ್ವಿಚಕ್ರ ವಾಹನ ವಶಪಡಿಸಿಕೊಂಡಿರ್ತೇವೆ. ಆಗ ಒಂದು ನಾಡು ಬಂದೂಕನ್ನು ಸಹ